had a mom reach out to me today. She's having some issues with her 17-year-old son, and I asked if I could do a video on this because I think there's a lot of parents that could benefit. So here goes. My son is 17 and doesn't seem to have any drive or willingness to try and start thinking about his future. He's a very closed book and doesn't engage in conversation with me. When I try and talk to him, he looks as if he's just wanting to run away. I just found out he started vaping, which is surprising to me because he's always seemed against it. He says he knows it's wrong and doesn't even know why he started, but everyone's doing it. This upsets me greatly, and I don't know how to deal with my son in the current situation. Please advise. Let me start by saying that our kids' behavior is a way of getting one of their 6 emotional needs met, and those needs include acceptance, affection, attention, appreciation, autonomy, which means developing their individuality, and connection. So when a kid is having behaviors like not wanting to talk and not really being motivated about the future and then vaping on top of it, my curiosity gets going and like, what's really going on here? Because these surface things, while they may in part be a natural curiosity or a natural lack of desire that goes along with adolescence at times, to me, there's something else going on, and it's worth sitting down and having the conversation with him to try and find out, and start by saying, hey, here's some of the things that I've noticed, and I love you and I'm concerned about you, and I'm wondering if there's something more going on here. The way you deliver that message is going to be really important. If you have a tone in your voice that is at all critical or lectury, they're not going to respond. And even if you have a tone like this, hey, I'm really concerned about you and here's what I've seen, and give very specific 2 or 3 examples of what you've noticed in the last several months, and I love you and I'm concerned about you. I'm here to help you through these tough times as being a teenager. That delivery may still get eye rolls or I don't know what's wrong or whatever, but the important thing is that you start by really not avoiding the subject and giving him very specific examples of what you're seeing so he knows that he is indeed being seen. In terms of the vaping, I know that a lot of parents are dealing with this, and I think that there's probably a lot of answers to that question. I would invite parents who hear this to actually jump in and comment on how they've handled it. I've seen there's apps to help with this. There are lots of things that you can get online and information about this, but important, I know that when my son was drinking and I didn't know what to do, I educated myself. I immersed myself in learning about addiction. And I'm not saying that your son is addicted. I'm just saying when I had a problem with any of my kids, I would start to educate myself because that would minimize my anxiety around it. Yes, vaping it's deceptive in that you can't smell it all the time, but it's harmful. We all know it can be harmful for our kids for sure. So I'm going to encourage you to educate yourself on vaping and look for ways online and or through apps that you can support his quitting that habit.